Okay, for 1B, comparing, ordering, and writing integers, let's look and compare the left side to the right side. If you look closely, you'll realize they're the exact same absolute value piece. This is the absolute value of negative 17, which is, of course, positive 17. And this part is the same. The absolute value of negative 17 is also, of course, 17. The only difference is on the right side we have a negative or a minus or an opposite of symbol in front. No matter how you think of it, that will result in this being a negative 17. And so when you compare a positive 17 to a negative 17, think about the symbol that would go in the blank. It's going to be the one that's eating the bigger number. Okay, coming over here, these are not absolute value symbols, so the only real reason the parentheses are even there is just to separate these two negatives or minuses and these two negatives or minuses. Oftentimes, if you don't have a parentheses there, they tend to like all run into each other and they look like one big minus sign. So we look inside the parentheses, we have a negative 4, and then this, in this case, would be easiest to think of as the opposite of negative 4, which of course is positive 4. However, if you don't want to think of it in that terms, if you want to think of it instead as leave, change, opposite, you can, because no matter really the steps you go through, you will wind up with a positive 4 compared to a positive 6. And so think about what symbol would go in between those. Okay, so for C, let's go ahead and find the values for each one of these, and then I will let you do the graphing. This is the opposite of the absolute value of 5. Well, we know the absolute value of 5 is 5, and so the opposite of that is negative 5. Now we have the absolute value of negative 5, which of course would be positive 5. Absolute value, remember, is just the distance that number is from 0, which is always going to be positive. In this case, we have the opposite of negative 7, or you can think of it as leave, change, opposite if you want to. No matter how you think about it, that will result in a positive 7. And in this case for D, we would have the absolute value of negative 7, which is 7, but then we have a negative sign in front, or an opposite sign in front. So those are our 4 values. You just need to remember how to graph these. Remember that negatives are on the left and positives are on the right. Good luck.